Nobody in America should be fired because they're gay, despite doing a great job in meeting their responsibilities. It's not fair. It's not right. We're going to put a stop to it.
Nobody in America should be fired because they're gay, says the man who's in the process of firing this guy because he's gay. This is Lieutenant Colonel Victor Fehrenbach, who will join us in a moment. He's a fighter pilot who has flown 88 combat missions, earned 9 air medals, and estimates that the military has spent $25 million training him. But after a civilian outed him to the military chain of command, Lieutenant Colonel Fehrenbach was told he was being discharged under Don't Ask, Don't Tell after 18 years of service. President Obama's speech before the Human Rights Campaign this weekend was heavy on firm commitments to end Don't Ask, Don't Tell, but kind of light on details about how and when that will happen.
I'm working with the Pentagon, its leadership, and the members of the House and Senate on ending this policy. Legislation has been introduced in the House to make this happen. I will end Don't Ask, Don't Tell. That's my commitment to you.
The day after that speech, even as tens of thousands of demonstrators converged on the National Mall to call for, among other things, more details and swifter action on Don't Ask, Don't Tell, General Richard Myers, former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, had this to say about Don't Ask, Don't Tell.
Gays can serve in the military, just can't serve openly, and they do, and there's lots of them, and we're the beneficiary of all that.
General Myers offering a fairly succinct summary of the basic complaint about Don't Ask, Don't Tell. Joining us now is Lieutenant Colonel Victor Fehrenbach, and thank you for your time tonight. We appreciate it.
Thank you, David.
Lieutenant Colonel, given what happened to you, you lived by the don't tell part of the rule for years only to be outed against your will. What do you think when you hear General Myers' characterization of Don't Ask, Don't Tell?
I think it's very disappointing. It shows a real disconnect there about what is really happening. You know, there's been 13,000 men and women, brave men and women, who have been discharged under this policy, and I don't have the exact number, but I think over half are cases like mine where somebody involuntarily was outed. You know, I kept my private life private for 18 years. I never wanted to tell. The Air Force never asked me, so I lived by the law. So in many ways, this law isn't working for me or for thousands of others that continue to serve bravely.
You have not been formally discharged yet. Tell us about the status of your case.
That's correct. On April 15th, that was the final day of my administrative discharge board, and the board recommended an honorable discharge, and I've been waiting since then. The process from that point was supposed to go through a brief legal review, then onto a personnel review board, and then up to the Secretary of the Air Force for his final decision. That normally takes about 5 months based on other cases, but my case has been stalled in the legal review process. In many ways, that's great for me because I get to put on the uniform and serve every day. At the same time, I'm in limbo since I've been recommended for discharge. I don't know when I'll eventually be fired if that's the case.
Are you holding out hope, though, that Don't Ask, Don't Tell will be repealed before you're formally discharged?
I am. I hold out hope every day, and you know, each day I get to serve, it's an honor for me, and it's also good to show that my squadron, my fighter wing, they continue to do the job every day, and we prove every day that this policy needs to be repealed now.
By my count, more than 400 servicemen and women have been kicked out under Don't Ask, Don't Tell since President Obama took office in late January. Obviously, you have a real sense of urgency about ending Don't Ask, Don't Tell. What did you think about the way President Obama addressed the policy this weekend? Do you think he understands the urgency?
I hope he does. I mean, we've heard words like this before when he was a candidate last year, and then also when I was fortunate enough to go to the White House in June, I heard similar words. Obviously, the words over the weekend, they were more definitive than we have heard before, so that gave me, again, hope. But we've heard words before, and as a military man, we like to judge people on their actions, not their words. So we've heard words like this before, and I just hope now we can have action from the Congress and the President and from the American people that they can help put pressure on our lawmakers to do the right thing.
And real quickly, Air Force Colonel, if Don't Ask, Don't Tell is repealed, say in January, February, well after health care, would that be enough time for you to stay in?
I hope so. You know, if we would have followed the normal timeline, I would have been fired this week. So hopefully my process can move slowly, and hopefully the Congress can act fast enough to save my career. You know, but if not, it's for the greater good. So if I am fired, but the policy is repealed in the spring, then that's for the greater good for thousands of others who can continue to serve.
Air Force Lieutenant Colonel Victor Fehrenbach, we really appreciate you joining us tonight. Good luck with the review process. And on behalf of so many of us, thank you for your service.
Thank you, David.